Hi there, welcome to Boxing Deep Dive. I'm Leonard Hosking, and what a massive show we've got to you in this episode. We're a man down, but that's okay because we've got plenty to talk about. I'm sure we'll occupy every second of the show. I'm going to bring in my co-host for this episode, the always nice and calm Grant Tassie Brown. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. The main man's here, so it doesn't really matter. The quiz obviously isn't on tonight, but we know where it's at 10-2. It's actually laughable these days. I like a challenge, and I'll probably have more challenge with my 5-year-old nephew.
Well, I think, look, it might be good just to have a slight pause in proceedings anyway, mate, that he's gone. We can regroup. We're 10-2. Maybe he can come back and challenge the king here.
Well, we'll see, mate. I mean, look, I hope that he can, brush himself off and come back, and, I won't deny Peter's hunger because I know that he wants to be the best, mate. But look, he's got a show tomorrow night. I wish him all the best, and I think just the main thing about our viewers, our beautiful viewers of Boxing Deep Dive, our regular viewers know who the man is. It's me. It's not even a question now. There's no, maybe this or that. It's me. I'm better than Peter Maniatis, and that's all there is about it.
Well, I think you'll be off for about 4 weeks because this is our last show, obviously, for the next couple of weeks anyway because, you've got your show on June 11, which we'll get to in a second. I'm obviously overseas.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the International Boxing Hall of Fame inductions in Canastota, New York. I'm going early next week, so really looking forward to that. Look, I wish you were coming with me, mate, but unfortunately you've got bigger fish to fry here in Tassie. And while we're on that, mate, we'll get onto that in a second. Let's just go over what we're going to do tonight. We've got all the Kamobsos news. There's no limit news. There's Tasman Fighters news. There's Matchroom news. There's obviously news on Canelo, and there's so much going on at the moment. Of course, the talking points and something we haven't had for a few weeks. It is Tassie's tirade. So I'm not sure we're prepared for that one, but we'll see how we go. Mate, before we get into all the other stuff, you've got a show on June 11th. Give us the update and how we're tracking.
Yeah, I mean, tickets are amazing. 60-odd tables are gone, and the promotion, the media's been really good. The Mercury newspaper has been really supportive. The Win News have been really supportive. Mate, so look, we've got Luke Jackson's the main event, obviously, up against a very experienced Indonesian. And I mean, he's Luke's done it all. He's Olympic game, London Olympic 2012 captain, 2 Commonwealth Games, bronze medal at the 06 Commonwealth Games, and he went to 2 World Championships as amateur, and then as a pro, he won the Australian title. He won a few regionals, and he fought Carl Frampton, the two division world champion at Windsor Park in Belfast in front of 30,000 Irish, mate. So Luke's done it all. And look, he thinks it'll be his last fight, definitely his last fight in Tasmania. But yeah, look, mate, so he deserves to go out in his own terms. Been a great ambassador for boxing, and so here's the main event. We've got Christina Mousey Jacobs was fighting for the Australian title against Tawana Campbell. Unfortunately, Tawana got COVID, so 2 days ago. Now the replacement, she fights for the state title versus Sarah Jolin, who just had a big win over Amber Amelia in Sydney on the Zoo undercard. We were there, Lyndon.
Yeah.
And she beat Mouse as an amateur, so there's a bit of revenge there. Mouse is coming up tomorrow with Adrian Lovell, her trainer, to be with me. We're sparring Neeks Johnson, world champion Sugar Neeks, on Sunday. And on Saturday, we're sparring Susie Ramadan and I think maybe Taylor Robinson. So
nice, yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, obviously Taylor Robinson's on the Kamobsos Haney cards, and plus the no limit card, so she's going to be busy. But that's great, mate. So 60 tables. That's a massive result for Tasmania.
And we've got Bo Belbin, obviously 5-0, 4 knockouts. My fighter, he's fighting a guy with a winning record, and a win there, could get us over the line and fight Nikita Zoo. which would be amazing because we got offered that before. And then we've got Sue there, who's former MMA cage fighter champion. He fought the great Israel Adesanya, who's the UFC pound-for-pound king.
Wow.
He's having his debut. And we've got Matthew Trippett, 5-0. He's a middleweight champion of Tasmania, back after 4 years. And Luke Waddington, who's on debut and who's a very exciting fighter. So, great card, 6 pro fights, about 10 or 12 amateur, the Australian Boxing League. And it's just going to be a great night. Anthony Mundine's coming and Jeff Fennick's a possibility.
Oh, that's awesome, mate. Well, that's a great show. So, you said 60 tables. So, are people able to still get general tickets or?
Yeah, they are, mate. So, contact me through Facebook or Instagram for a general admission ticket.
Can I show up on the night?
And you can go on the night as well, but it's always good to pre-book.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, it should be a sellout crowd. And like you said with Luke Jackson's done it all. And, if it is his last fight, it'd be a great way to farewell probably the best Tasmanian fight, apart from probably Justin Crawford could probably put his hand up as well, but two of the best Tasmanians that we've produced. Along with yourself, of course.
Definitely one of the best, mate. But I mean, don't forget, there's Daniel Gill as well.
Oh, sorry, I forgot Daniel Gill. Sorry, and Grant Tassie Brown, of course.
Yeah, mate. Look, I never fought for world title, and I mean, but at the end of the day, Luke's been amazing as an amateur. They couldn't beat him. He beat Paul Fleming, I think, 3 times. Joel Brunker 3 times. Corey McConnell. He beat Kamobsos twice. Brandon Ogilvie, Val Borg. He beat everyone, mate, and he also beat Sharif Bulgari, and he beat the X-Man Walters, who was world champion. That obviously beat Donaire and all. So, mate, Luke was just an amazing boxer. Dedication second to none, and
well, we wish him all the best if it is his last fight, and obviously to you, mate, because we won't get a chance to talk before then, of course, on this show. But best of luck with you, mate. I'm sure it will be a massive night. If you want to get down, support Tasmanian boxing, or Aussie boxing, of course. Get down to the where is it, mate? In Tassie, in Hobart.
It's a Hobart Netball Centre in Creek Road, Newtown, Hobart.
All right, we'll get on it. All right, mate, well, let's get into the rest of the Aussie news. We've got so much going on at the moment. We're going to start off with the countdown to George Kamobsos Jr. versus Devin Haney. Plenty going on at the moment, of course. Saw the other day. Let's have a look at George Kamobsos for starters. Got a few videos here just to play, but we're in the last 2 weeks before the fight. So George was interviewed the other day, and this was his thoughts on proceedings.
Yeah, look, it's good. Everything's great, and I'm just so focused and zoned in. Had a hell of a session this morning, great game planning, and I'm just firing in every cylinder. I ain't a V8 cylinder like I was for Lopez. I'm a V10. So I feel great. Can't wait. June 5th, bring it on. I wish it was today.
Now, you spent a majority of your last few camps training overseas. What do you enjoy more, training over there or training here?
Well, I've got my beautiful gym now that I've put together, and I've got not only my Australian coach, Ronnie Sinclair, but my American team here, Javier Centeno, my lead trainer, who's been with me for the last 6 fights, maybe more now. And Xander Zayas, top prospect, contender soon. Terry Nicholas, my fighter, got some young guys. Taj, who's coming up as well. So it's great to be home because they get to see this. They get to see how I prepare for the big fight, and they get to be amongst it. They get to learn, like I learned with Pacquiao, the media, and I saw this already from many. So I know how to deal with it. I know how to get around it, and that's why it's good to be home. It's great to be home, and the fight's here. So why would I go to America? We prepare here. We bring the team here. We bring the sparring partners here, and we go. The only place we fly is to Melbourne, and whip some ass.
Yeah, he looks pretty calm, doesn't he, Tasman? I've got to say, we've got to have a shout out to the social media guys that get out and make this vision possible. The Fight Hypes, the Fight Hub, I think that one was there, and of course before the fight and all that in Australia. So shout out to them as well.
Yeah,
that's where we get the grabs from.
Nick Noonan,
yeah, Nick
Noonan,
boy, who's amongst it all.
Fight Hype, mate. He's with George, mate. He messaged me today. He's with the whole team.
Yep. So, we're not getting a lot from the mainstream news just yet, but I'm assuming in the week leading up to it we will. But hasn't stopped ticket sales though. 55,000 they're expecting, so it should be a ripper. I saw that His opponent, Devon Haney, has been doing a few rounds with the boys at the Alice Gym in Melbourne. You can see there two really good young prospects, Kane Clark and Jason Malia, so doing some rounds. I also saw he'd done some rounds with Ibrahim Balla as well. So he's definitely given a few of the local boys a bit of an opportunity to get a feel for what it's like with a genuine superstar.
No, he has, mate. Yeah, that's been great for all the Aussies there. And, being able to spar something like that is amazing, It's, yeah, mate, it's really good of the Haney team.
I'll tell you one thing, just speaking of the Haney team, I saw an interview with him a couple of nights ago on AFL 360. If you're not from Melbourne, you might not have seen it. You might be watching the NRL version, or if you're overseas, of course, you wouldn't have seen it at all. But he was on there. I'll tell you what, mate, it's very, very hard to dislike him. Let's just have a look there of his interview, but very, very hard to dislike this guy. Seems such a great young man. Here it is. If we can come up there. Where are we? No, it's not going to come up. There it is. Sorry.
Really close to his face. You have not got a mark on your face. You look like a model.
Yeah, I barely get hit, and on June 5th, I will show.
What do you mean you barely get hit? Well, you have too fast, or what is it?
Skills pay the bills, and
skills pay the bills.
Skills pay the bills, and that's something that I've learned since a young age, and I look to showcase my skills on June 5th.
Yeah, it just seems like a really nice young guy, mate. And look, end of the day, these guys are professionals. I did see in that interview they tried to sort of say, well, where's the angst and where's the yango? And I think what they don't realise, a lot of the media out there, and maybe just casual fans as well, these guys, it's not personal. I know it can get personal at times, but end of the day, these guys, they're the best for a reason. They go out there, they do a job. It's I think the elite fighters don't need to get angry to perform. They're professionals. They've done it probably since they've been 8, 9, 10 years old. And I think sometimes, mate, the media just misread it a bit about what boxing is. It's not just two angry guys off the street that put the gloves on and punch on. These are two well-tuned elite athletes who go in there and try and outsmart each other.
100%, mate. I mean, recent years is probably between the MMA, all the crap they do there, and the trash of some of the fighters that are doing it now. Like, it's, mate, look, yeah, that's right. There's no need for that. Most boxers are nice guys. They are quite gentle out of the ring, but they're a beast when they're in the ring, mate. So there's no need to, yeah, mate, they get the wrong idea. And they try and, they want the trash talk. They want that to sell papers or sell tickets. But at the end of the day, mate, you don't need it, and it's not what boxing's about,
Well, as I said, I know there's been some trash talk in the past from some of the big fights, but you look at the really big fights in history, yeah, there's probably a little bit of gamesmanship, a bit of this, a bit of tit for tat, but there's really no spite in there. On very rare occasions, there might be a bit come in, but overall, as I said, these guys are elite athletes. They're paid millions of dollars, and I just don't think they have enough time to worry about that. And when they get on,
100%,
on fight night, it's just all business. And as I said, they try and outsmart each other, outbox each other. Because end of the day, mate, these guys go in there and try and punch on. One of them's going to get KO'd because it's going to play right in the other guy's hands. But before we move on with that, mate, I just want to show. I saw it the other day. It was interesting. I think George Kamobsos himself might have actually shared it on social media. It was actually the Haney team reaction to his win over Teofimo Lopez, and it's quite good. I'll put it on. You can have a look at it here.
That's a big decision. Let's go, Kamobsos. Kamobsos wins. Oh shit! Let's go! Let's go! Shoot now!
Do you reckon they feel a little bit silly now, mate, that they're jumping around like little kids, him and his dad, that Kamobsos has won, and now they've got to talk it up with George to try and hype the fight up, and obviously then get on there and punch on. But it's amazing what to see this behind the scenes footage, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is, mate. It's that's crazy. Wow, it's they might have had a bit of money on him, mate. The looks of that fucking reaction, Lyndon.
Yeah, well, I don't think at that point they probably thought they'd be fighting him next, or maybe they did, but maybe they thought the Kamobsos winning gave him a better chance. But I thought that was really, really funny that, that 6 months later they're actually going to be sharing the ring with George. I know George found it quite amusing. He put it on his social media and had a bit of fun with it.
Well, like Haney had, obviously words at one of the shows. Him and Lopez were going back and forth, and I don't know if Haney, if he had doubts that maybe Lopez might not have kept up his end of the bargain because they were talking about it. But I mean, George ruined the party anyway.
Yeah, and as I said, it's going to be a really good fight. I know George will probably do his best to spice things up. That's what he does, and try and get under the skin of Haney. But I just think Haney looks like he's such a down-to-earth sort of young guy that I'm not sure whether it'll make much difference. But I'm just looking forward to a great fight, mate. I think it's going to be just a classic. I think they're so evenly matched. I think George obviously brings it as far as that confidence goes, and he's a little bit unorthodox as well. Haney obviously is a great boxer. He's only a young fighter as well. But I think overall it's just going to be just a great event for Melbourne and Australia.
Oh, mate, it's the biggest international event since the Horn Pacquiao, and mate, it's amazing.
All right, mate. Well, on to other news, and again, this will be our last chance to talk about this fight. It'll be all over by the time we get back on air, but it should be an unbelievable event. Let's get on to some of the things that have been released this week. The first one is the No Limit show. The next Fox, I can't remember what they call it. No Limit on Fox, I think it is. June 29th in Brisbane. Liam Wilson to get his first chance at headlining an event. It's not a pay-per-view. This is all free if you're on Fox, of course. He'll fight, his name is, I've got here, Matias Carlos Adrian Rueda, if you can pronounce that. And I've got to say, mate, this is not just a... nice eyeball we've got in the... there, mate, you're right. I've got to say, hats off to Liam Wilson and No Limit in this event because, he's only coming off the revenge fight with Noine, obviously in his last fight. But this guy, he's 37-1, 32 KOs. And these aren't manufactured wins here. His only loss was a stoppage loss to Oscar Valdez in 2016 for the WBO World Featherweight title. Since then, he's polled on about 10 wins. So, big step up for Liam. And if he can get the win, well, who knows what's next?
100%, mate. Yeah, look, it is a good by Liam and No Limit, Benny Harrington and all the team there. So look, mate, he's not going to die wondering. It's a good fight, and Paulo Akusu.
Yeah,
I read where he wanted to win a world title in 7 fights or break Jeff Fennick's record. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. Well, we'll hear what they both have to say. First of all, let's hear what Liam had to say at the press conference.
Who's number 8 in the world. He's got a phenomenal record, losing just once, and that was for a world title, 37 victories and 32 stoppages. Matias Rueda, what have you made of what you've seen from him? Because obviously he's very well credentialed and he comes with a fine track record.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. I think me and my team have identified that I need to take these hard fights to be able to perform. I need my instincts to kick in. I need to feel threatened. I need to feel fear. And that'll make me perform to the best of my abilities. And this guy has that. He has the X factor. He's a big puncher. And I'm excited to see what he has to offer. And I'm excited to show him what this Australian can bring as well.
Yeah, it should be a really good test for Liam. And I really actually like that he's willing to take on these fights early. Of course, blew up in his face to some extent when he fought Noine the first time. But obviously he avenged that defeat. But good to see him step in there. I think he said there Rueda is number 8 in the world. And Liam Wilson, at the moment, is ranked, I've got it here somewhere, he's actually ranked number 6. So this is 6 versus 8. Now, I'm not quite sure how Liam's actually achieved WBO number 6, but he's there. And Rueda is number 8. So the winner will no doubt be ranked nice and high. As you said, mate, Paulo Akusu will fight Robert Barrage on the undercard. Before we get into that, this is what Paulo Akusu had to say.
Match on paper, this fight. You're having your second pro fight. You're fighting against someone having their 40th. Are you serious?
I mean, you can have 50, 60 fights. Doesn't matter to me. You can fight world champions. No one's like me. No one can fight like me. I'm too fast, too pretty, and I'm entertaining as well. So, It's what it is.
What do you think of Robert Berrage? We've all seen him in Australian boxing for a very long time. He did fight against Dimitri Bivol only a few fights ago. What do you make of Robert Berrage?
If I'm gonna be honest, I don't rate him at all. I mean, he's 4 world champions. You know, he's had 3 world titles, but he's lost all of them, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't come close to winning 1 round. So, you know, I'm not a bum. Everyone he's versed are bums in Australia. Everyone he's won against are bums. And come to 9th of June, I'm gonna show him that he's the bum.
Tassie, before I let you comment there, mate, I've got to say I don't like it. I really don't like. I like the fact that he's a confident young guy. I like the fact that he believes in himself. But I tell you what I don't like, and that's someone that's had 1 fight, having a go at someone that's had 40 odd, or about to have his 40th fight. Has fought Dimitri Bivol of all people. He's fought for world titles. He's never shirked an issue. I think that's very, very disrespectful from him, and it's not the way to get fans on board. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Yeah, I mean, saying the Aussie, the guys who fought are bums, and saying other Aussies are bums, it's as I said, mate, it's don't know, man. He wants to make sure that he keeps bouncing those checks, and he'll keep cashing the checks that don't bounce, mate. Because I don't like it.
There's no need for it though, Tassie. I mean, he look. We all know he's an Olympian, so obviously he can fight. We know he's going to be a really good prospect. He really reminds me a lot of Jai Patira, I will say, and there's no doubt he's probably going to climb the ladder pretty quick. But Robert Berrage, I mean, it's one thing to say you believe in yourself and you believe you can beat Berrage, and no doubt he will. There's no way they're going to put him in with Berrage if they don't think he can win. But to call him a bum and his opponent's bums, I just, there's no need for it. And as I said, if you want to get the Aussie fight fans offside straight off the bat, then that is the way to do it. So if he's watching, I doubt he is, but if he is, mate, just go about it the right way. Be respectful, be humble, let your let your fists do the talking in the ring, and treat people with respect. Because if you don't,
100%, mate, 100%,
get it yourself. And Robert Berrage, look, let's face it, Robert Berrage's career is way down the other side of the mountain. There's no doubt about that. But he fought Dimitri Bivol in 2017. He was stopped in that fight, but nothing wrong with that. Of course, he's only had the 3 fights since his last fight with Isaac Hardman in 2020 when he was stopped. But he did take that fight on late notice for that one. But you know, as I said, I don't like it. And I would hope that his team around him would say, Paulo, mate, just, as they say, stay in your lane until you've got a lane of your own. So here we go.
100%.
All right, so that's June 29th. Big night. It's actually my birthday that night, so I'll be watching it. I might even go up there. Who knows? Because we've got the Opataya and Breeders fight 3 days later. So might be good if you're looking to get away to Queensland for a few days. What an opportunity to go. You got this one on the Wednesday, and then Opataya Breeders on the Saturday, I think it is. So big week in Queensland. All right, so just quickly on the Justice Haney and Joseph Goodall event, you can see the undercard has been announced. Unfortunately, they didn't put a lot of the first names on there, which is a bit hard to and they only put half the amount of fights on the undercard on BoxRec. So the ones I've got here, of course, is Haney Goodall. Jack Gipp will fight Francis Wtf. Taylor Robinson will fight Gretel DePaz, who I know a fair bit about. I promoted her fight with Shanika Johnson about 5 years ago. Haney, which is the brother of Justice Haney, will fight Thomas Wilkins. I don't know much about the others, except you can see Andrei Mikhailovich is on the card. Luke Boyd is on the card. Looks like Paulo Acuso's brother might be on the card there. So yeah, it should be a big event, and that one will be a pay-per-view on main event. So Wednesday, June 15th, Nissan Arena in Melbourne. So what do you think about that fight, Tassie? Who wins?
Good fight. Both good ex-amateurs, both Australian representatives, both sparred a fair bit. They're young. Someone's always got to go. But I think Haney, if he's as good as what they say, he should win.
Yeah, I think he'll win. I think Goodall will obviously give a very good account of himself and a very accomplished fighter in his own right. I think he's had 8 pro fights, but I think Justice Haney should do enough to get that job done. And as I said, that'll be on KO and main event on Wednesday, June 15th. Is it pay-per-view or is it just on Fox? Maybe it's just on Fox. Might just whatever. I hope it's on Fox.
Nah, this would be Fox. It's not pay-per-view.
Nah, you're right. Yeah, so it'll be Fox. Still on Tasman Fighters, actually, if I can spit that out. Announced today, Jason Waitley, Matus Masternak from Poland. Jason is ranked IBF number 10. Masternak is IBF number 5. They've been ordered to fight for Eliminator for the world title. So that should be a really good clash as well. That is on, what date did it say there? Did I actually put it up there? Probably didn't. But yeah, so that'll be, I think they've got to go to purse bids and all the rest of it. So that'll be coming up soon.
Yeah.
That should be a good opportunity for Jason as well.
Yeah, good opportunity. He's only at 10 bouts. That's crazy. You think he'll be world number 1. Crazy.
Well, Matus Masternak has a 46-5 record with 31 KOs. He lost back in 2018, has won 5 fights since then. So, 51 fights. So he's no slouch, and we know Polish fighters, they can fight, of course. They had a lot of good fighters over the years. So that'll be a tough one for Jason. You can see what's going to happen here, though. They obviously, if Jai Pattaya wins, of course, this is all being, directed towards a mega fight with Waitley and Pattaya down the track, which would be massive for Aussie boxing.
Yeah, well, that'd be massive. I think they fought in amateurs a few times, and they sparred recently, mate. That'd be big.
Yeah.
Very big.
So look out for all the details on that one. As I said, it's going to purse bids, and there'll be venues. I'm assuming it's going to be in Australia, of course, if Tasman are promoting it. But should be very interesting. So we'll see what happens there. Last one on the Aussie scene, mate. Sky Nicholson is fighting for the 4th time already. She's fighting against Gabriella Bouvier in Cardiff, Wales, on a Matchroom boxing show. Bouvier, as the former world champion with a 15-10-1 record. So a big test for Sky. I think, I don't think Bouvier's had a lot to do in the last few years, but Sky Nicholson, it's an 8-rounder, so she's not holding back as far as where she wants to get to in the sport.
Yeah, 100%, mate. She's, how active she's been. She's been on some massive shows and fighting all around the world. So, I mean, yeah, she done herself a great career move when she got with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah. No, well, he's kept her active, as you said, and she's been on some big cards, and this one will be big as well. I'll just, I think the event is, I'll bring it up here, is the IBF Super Featherweight title, Kenichi Ogawa versus Joe Cordina. And I'll also, I don't really recognise a lot of the other fighters on the card, but that'll be the main event, the IBF World Super Featherweight title. Shown on DAZN, so we'll get to see Sky again. And Eddie Hearn, obviously, from Matchroom, will be putting on that event. So good luck to Sky in that one. And should be, and it's hard to believe she's had 4 fights this year already, so good on her. All right, mate, well, let's get on to some world news, because there's plenty going on. Last week, we really didn't have anything going on. And this week, there's a fair bit. Let's get on to the biggest news, and that is Canelo Triple G 3 is on September 17 for the 3rd time. There's no venue announced yet, but the odds are that it'll be in Las Vegas. So, first of all, what a great event, mate. And do you agree with taking on Triple G instead of Bivol?
I don't know, man. Like it sort of surprised me, but this is more Canelo being more a businessman, a bit like Floyd. So let's just talk about it here. He lost to Bivol in a shock loss. He wasn't expecting to lose. I mean, and so first thing he does, he wants a rematch. That's in his as a fighter. I think he spoke to his team and have gone, this is business. He pretty much signed to fight Triple G. You obviously haven't won that fighter that way. He's still the super middleweight champion. You got history. Everyone wants to see it still. Triple G just come off a good win over Murata. And you're better now. You're beating. He's older. You're going to a different level. You're back at your natural weight. You didn't carry the weight very good at light heavyweight. Well, beat Triple G You get a good payday. You close the chapter on the trilogy. Might even stop him, and it's a good selling fight. Then we fight Bivol again. You do try and revenge that loss, and you do try and win that title, and then after that we'll see what we do. I think that's what's happened.
Yeah, well, I agree with you there, mate. I think, and just one thing I will say there, looking at that vision there, how much better did Canelo look at that weight with the work rate? I know this is at 168, not 160, but the fighter that we saw at light heavyweight is a completely different Canelo to the one we saw fight Triple G there. And I think even at super middleweight, he's going to be a lot quicker. But the work rate, the ins and out and the amount of punches that he throws was non-existent against Bivol. Or how you pronounce it. But, it'll be interesting to see whether he goes back to that style versus Triple G.
Well, Lyndon, as I said, mate, I only just watched the Cotto Canelo fight the other day, and that was a fast pace. Canelo, for a lot of punches, so big combinations. I mean, sometimes it's hard losing weight and going down in weight, but sometimes it's hard to carry weight. And I mean, the heavier Canelo does not have that work rate that he had at light, middle, and middle. Yeah. Even though he's been so spectacular in the super middleweight fights, but it's still, he just hasn't, whether the weight and having that extra muscle on or whatever else, he just hasn't got that work rate as much.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good decision by him anyway. I think whoever's advising him has given him the right advice. Look, if he fought Bivol right now, obviously he loses out on this big payday with this one, even though Bivol would give him a big payday as well. But I think it's good timing. Get this fight out the road, score your big payday, get the trilogy out the road, feel comfortable at the weight, and then worry about Bivol. And whether he even fights Bivol again, I suppose they can make that decision after this one. But I just be putting an asterisk beside him if I was him, and just concentrating on Triple G at the moment, and then worry about what happens after that. So there it is. Let's hope it's in Las Vegas. It'd be awesome to see another one at T-Mobile Arena, and all the details will be announced soon. So looking forward to that one, and the odds are I'll be over there for that one. I've been to the first two fights, so would love to get to the third and make it a trilogy myself. All right, mate. Also on the weekend, we had David Benavidez knocked out David Lemieux in 3 rounds in Arizona. I'll put up the video as we're talking. Hopefully YouTube don't decide to chop it as they did last week. We had about 10 minutes worth of footage that was cut out because of this. Mind you, this footage has actually been pinched off someone else that's pinched it off them. But anyway.
It's a vicious circle.
It is a vicious circle. But look, I don't know whether you saw it, mate, but I was really impressed with Benavidez. He absolutely took Lemieux apart. You can see he's a much bigger man, and Lemieux's probably on the downside of his career. But, he looked pretty good.
Mate, I mean, Benavidez is a monster and a great fighter, but he was always going to look good against this guy. Lemieux, mate, have you ever heard of him lately, Lyndon, to be honest with you? No. I mean, mate, he got destroyed by Billy Joe Saunders not long ago. He got destroyed against Triple G. Mate, Benavidez, I don't take nothing from this fight. He is the real deal, and it'll be a great fight versus Canelo super middleweight, Lyndon. Yeah. But beating this guy, since this guy is just there to be hit, has a punch if he lands it, hasn't done nothing recently, this is not a fight that I'm not going to get excited about, Lyndon. Sorry.
Yeah, no, fair enough too. Look, you're right.
I rate him, Lyndon. I rate Benavidez, but this fight, I'm not going to jump up and down on this fight because, mate, this was a perfect fight. He should have looked this good against. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not getting too excited about it. He just did what he had to do, I suppose, didn't he? So, it just got him out of there. 3 rounds, I think it was. So, if you're Canelo's team, are you looking at Benavidez or are you steering him away from him?
Oh, mate, look, I'm not going to say Canelo and his team are scared of anyone.
I'm not saying he's scared of him, but for a business decision, would they be looking at Benavidez or would they steer him away towards some other fights he might be able to have?
Well, Lyndon, they obviously have it, mate. They obviously have steered away from him. He obviously isn't the top pick.
Yeah.
Otherwise, mate, there's two opponents in front of this guy.
Yeah.
So he's obviously, whether it's money, they don't think it's bigger, or he's too risky maybe for the risk-reward factor.
Yeah, no, you're right. But Benavidez, we'll see what happens there. He's got a few options going forward. I think there's a few of the fighters, that are fighting each other, and there's obviously Charlo and maybe Canelo, or maybe even Triple G if he beats Canelo might be in the mix. So we'll see what happens there anyway. Now, mate, I know Peter's not here tonight, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out to our man, Floyd Mayweather. He had the exhibition on the weekend over Don Moore. Now, I know we're not going to get too excited and pretend that it's all hunky-dory. I just wanted to give... this is Floyd Mayweather we're talking about. When he steps back in the ring, you've got to give him some sort of coverage, don't you?
Hey, guess what? I'm just happy Manny lost the election. Can't even win the election.
But look... in this though, mate, I've got it in the talking points later about Floyd. But I mean, end of the day, he still looks in pretty good nick. He gave the guys, something to look at anyway, and he gave him a bit of a show. And I thought it was just good to see him back in the ring.
You're either a Floyd Mayweather fan or you're not, Lyndon. And I'm a Floyd Mayweather fan, and mate, he can do what he wants, mate. I mean, if we could all make millions just doing this shit, we'd do it too. I mean. Yeah, he's done it. He can do what he wants, mate.
Yeah, fair enough too, mate. Well, so I think it was an 8-rounder. I think he almost got him out of there in the last 30 seconds. I think he dropped him. But look, it was supposed to be on the helipad up top of the as a Burj Khalifa or whatever it's called. And I think the president died the week before, so they postponed it, and then they obviously just put it into a local hall. So anyway, just a quick shout out to Floyd. We still love Floyd. I don't care whether people don't like him. I think he's still one of the best ever, and I think it's good to see him still putting the gloves on and giving us a show, because when they're gone forever.
Manny didn't win the election.
And Manny didn't win the election. So we might see him doing exhibitions next, and then we'll see what Peter thinks about that,
Fuck, cry me a river.
Yeah, exactly. All right, mate, on to this weekend. Not a bad fight. I've got Devonta Davis and Rolly Romero, May 28th.
I hate this guy, Lyndon. I hate this guy.
Davis or Romero?
I love Davis. I can't stand this clown.
Yeah.
This guy has done nothing. He's a nobody. He shouldn't even be there. He shouldn't even be getting this money. Shouldn't be on a TV. He talks like a fucking faggot, and he's just a dickhead. He can't. He's done nothing, Lyndon.
Well, what surprises me, mate, is that a lot of people are actually picking him to win, which I just can't believe.
Mate, I can't cop this fucking guy.
Well, hopefully Davis gives him a spanking and we won't hear from him again.
I can't cop this wanker. You're a spastic, and if I see him, I'll fucking flog him on the street. I don't like the fucking guy. But he's a spastic. But
it's funny though. But I've seen a lot of experts actually tipping him to win. I can't. I've seen him fight a fey times. I just don't see it. I don't see how he beats Davis. What do you think? Oh, well, obviously I know what you think.
No way. Davis, mate. Davis is probably the best lightweight there.
What we got there?
Peter said he's trying to log on.
Yeah, I didn't think he was coming on tonight. So sorry, Pete. You've missed out. I'll message him back. We're recording at the moment. One last thing, mate, before we get on to your tirade. Now, he did say he wasn't coming on this week, didn't he, Tassie? So
he did.
Pete, so I'm sorry, Pete, if you're watching, but you said you weren't coming on. I can't bring you on now. All right, mate, so I did see something that caught my eye today, and it is this. Eddie Hearn. I'll be there next month, this is Australia, to announce our first Australian show. So
wow.
I'm not sure whether you know any more than that. I'm sure by the time this airs that more will come out. But very interesting. You see he's tagged Sky Nicholson in that as well. So I'm assuming she'll obviously be on the card.
Well, let's hope Brock Jarvis is ready to go as well.
Well, I'd say it'll be Brock. It'll be Sky. Probably be
Ebony
McKean, Ebony Bridges. Or how good would it be to see Ebony Bridges versus Shannon O'Connell in Australia, promoted by Matchroom? That would be awesome.
That'd be massive.
That would be, and obviously Sky Nicholson as well.
And that's what we want. We want that fight.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting. But yeah, you can see there it'll be in Australia next month. I'm not sure whether that means next month as far as the George Kamobsos fight goes. I'm hoping so. He'll be out for that, and I'd say he'll let that blow over, and then he might, while he's here, he might announce their show straight afterwards. So that would be massive. So eyes on that one, and we'll see for the Aussie boxing fans out there, Matchroom Boxing coming to Australia. How massive will that
mate,
be?
It'd be awesome, mate. I can see me and Eddie Hearn having a couple of lemon liner bitters together, having a bit of a chat.
All right, mate. Well, it's that time of the night. As I said, we haven't done it for a little while. And I know you've got a little bit on your chest. Let's try and be civil about the whole thing. It is Tassie's tirade. What's on your mind?
Mate, just trying to, match your show like all promoters and, they know, like, I mean, a lot of guys these days, fighters, mate, they're just so, they've got no principles. I mean, I just had a guy recently who's matched the fight and getting paid good money. Yeah, he was the B side, but I mean, they agreed to the fight. He's just blocked his trainer's number, blocked his trainer on social media.
Blocked his trainer.
So he's pulled out of the fight. He's just gone MLA, and now this fucks me up. Having to get replacements with 2 weeks out. It's just a joke, mate. Like, you can't fucking do that. I mean, and look, I won't say the guy's name, but he's not Aussie. Like, he's here on a visa from another country. But you're a dog, mate. You're a dog.
Don't commit to the fight if you're not
pure
100%.
Yeah, it. But then your trainer's trying to make it up to me. He's devastated. He doesn't let me down, but he's a great guy, by the way. But this guy, what a pure dog, mate, to do that. So a lot of these guys, they're fighting for the wrong reasons, and you just don't do that, mate. So I just want to say a big fuck you to the guy that pulled out and's gone MIA. If I ever find you, they'll find you sleeping somewhere unconscious. You're a pure dog.
We've talked about this, haven't we, in the past? And I've been a promoter myself, obviously. And I don't think the fighters quite understand the amount of time, effort, work, money, just goes into these events. And I think they just think, oh, I'll pull out. It's no drama. They'll either find someone else or they'll be able to cover it. They don't realise that sometimes the opponents they're fighting have sold massive amounts of tickets. They themselves have obviously put in a lot of work in their training. And it's a domino effect. And I just don't think sometimes fighters know or care what they put the promoter and the opposition.
100%. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's just wrong, mate. So I mean, I said this show's been a bit of a nightmare to match, and now I'm back trying to match a guy. 2 weeks out. It's just annoying, mate. So, if you're going to take a fight, and I think I said something earlier, one of my guys meant to fight Bo Bilbin back in March, and all of a sudden he's on fucking Fox Sports. Mate, if you accept the fight, go through with the fucking fight. Yeah. Don't be a dog, because we are giving your platform to fight. I'm an ex-fighter. I never done it. Linda's an ex-fighter. Yeah, I'm just pissed off, mate. Like, you're just a bunch of spastics. Bunch of fucking grubs.
I'm with you, and I think, I'm with you. I never ever entered my mind whenever I was fighting. You just front up and you fight. It's just that's what it is. But I think sometimes the mindset of a guy that maybe knows he's the B side, it just, as I said, doesn't really realise what's at stake from your end as well. So hopefully, that all rectifies itself. But if you're a fighter out there watching, do the right thing, be professional, go through it. If you don't have no intentions of fighting, don't sign on the fight. All right.
100%.
All right, mate. Let's get on to the talking points. I've got 5 to get through tonight that I'm really keen to get your thoughts on. As always, there's plenty going on, and I've kept these. Last week, I think we integrated them into the show, but I've separated them tonight. As I said, I'm interested in what your thoughts are. Let's get into talking point number 1. Who is commentating? It should have been who the hell is commentating. This is for the Kamobsos Haney fight. I'm not sure whether you saw it, but Jared Waitley, he works on SEN, and AFL 360, so he's an AFL commentator. He's a horse racing commentator or caller, and he's a cricket commentator. He is one of the commentators for Kamobsos Haney. What are your thoughts? Surely they could find a proper commentator to work in conjunction with whoever's the main one is. I saw it the other day and I was quite surprised.
Yeah, mate. There's got to be that many guys out there that have done the job in boxing. Why they've got to get a football and a fucking racing fucking commentator?
Cricket. I will say though, I think I was in Adelaide for the Green Mundine 2 fight, and I didn't actually realise it until later. He was one of the commentators on that fight, but I just would have thought with this fight, I'm assuming they're bringing over Colonel Bob Sheridan or one of those guys. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You would think that they, or the Americans maybe have their own, I'd say maybe that's what it is. The American commentators will have their own part, and then the Aussie main event guys. But I mean, you look at the main event commentators in Australia, you know, like obviously Barry Michael and Jeff Fennick, and I know they've had
100%.
You know, they've got some really good commentators in Australia. I'm not sure why they have to turn to someone who's a very good football, cricket, racing commentator, but he actually admitted himself on the AFL 360 the other night. He doesn't really know anything about boxing. Is that a bit of a slap in the face to the guys that actually do know what they're talking about?
100%, mate. Like, I don't know, Lyndon.
I don't want to get you into another tirade, but...
Well, look, you know, I'm massive about if you haven't had a fight, don't fucking talk to me. So all these trainers that run around thinking they're fucking, you know, Emmanuel fucking Stewart, all these promoters, all these fucking matchmakers, all these fucking commentators. If you haven't had a fight, fuck out of boxing. Yeah. You don't know shit. I don't give a fuck who you are or who takes offence to it. You know, show me how many fights you had. How many fights you had. Yeah. How many fights you had.
At least
boxing's full of all these fucking people that don't know fuck all about boxing.
I think what
I'm getting pissed off. I'm about to smash this laptop.
I think what it is with boxing, it just seems to attract the crowd.
It attracts fucking losers, wannabes,
and the
nerds,
hangers on. Yep.
Little nerds. They want to be a fighter. They want the girls to go, "Oh, he's a fighter," or they want to walk in the nightclubs for free. They want people to get around them and buy drinks. But you gotta fight, mate. You gotta train and fight like we have. Yeah. Lyndon was the king of Bendigo. I was the king of fucking Tasmania for that reason, because I'm a fighter. Yeah. You little bitches want to get the fucking notoriety. Yeah, mate.
I think the main culprits, though,
cross the street if you see me.
I think the main culprits, though, are the hangers-on, the ones that just hang on. They've got to hold the belt up, and they've got to walk out, and they've got to in the change rooms. They've got to put the t-shirt on, and you know. Anyway, but that's that just caught my eye. All right, talking point number 2. This is a good one. You should be able to answer. Can Triple G duplicate Bivol's game plan against Canelo? We all know the game plan that Bivol had. He had the work rate up against Canelo, took him right out of his comfort zone. Does Triple G still have it in him to duplicate that and pull off the win?
I don't think, you know, I mean, he hasn't got the size of Bivol, and it's his first fight out of his division, super middleweight. You know, coming out of middleweight, he's older, he's slower, he's easy to hit now. I don't think so. Triple G's got a good thing, got a very good left jab, and Canelo didn't jab much against Bivol. But I don't think Triple G can pattern himself after Bivol. I just don't think size, age. I don't think so.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting one. We've all spoken about Canelo at light heavyweight, how much he seemed to be bogged down at that weight. We haven't seen Triple G at 168, and obviously his whole career's been at 160, so we don't really know what effect it will have. It might benefit him. I know there were some rumours that he did struggle, or he has struggled in the last few years to make 160, so maybe at his age it might be better for him, but it'd be really interesting to see. I'm with you. I don't think Triple G's got it in him at this stage, but either way, it'll be a massive event.
Yeah, mate, look, 100% it will be, but I just don't, I don't think, you know, I just think, like, going from recent fights, mate, he's, I mean, you know, I think Canelo will close this one out, but it does still have interest. I mean, and Canelo losing the other day makes it more interesting.
Oh, it does. I
mean, the way Canelo was going to super middleweight, it would have. If Canelo would have destroyed Bivol, he wouldn't really be buying this fight, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But now there's a bit of interest there.
Yeah, no,
and
you're
Triple
right.
G did beat Triple G did knock out a fairly good Japanese fighter, Moreta.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I think, if Canelo had beaten Bivol, I don't think this fight would have been as big as it's probably going to be now, because now everyone obviously gives Triple G a real chance of beating Canelo. A lot of people thought he won both fights. I think the first one especially, second one was maybe 50-50, but there's a lot of people that thought he won both fights, so maybe they give him a better chance now. All right, number 3. This is about Tyson Fury. Can Tyson Fury get up for Usyk if he beats Joshua? Now, what I'm saying about that is there's rumours that Tyson Fury hasn't officially retired. He's waiting to see the result of Joshua Usyk 2. I've got a feeling if Joshua wins, he will definitely fight Joshua. But I've got a feeling if Usyk wins, he might not bother. What do you think? Can he get up for Usyk, or it's only Joshua?
Yeah, I think that's a smart plan. Don't ride off the Joshua fight yet, because that's back. If Joshua wins, that's back on. That's the biggest fight in English history.
Yeah.
So if he can do 90,000+ with Dylan White, let's just do Joshua.
About 120.
Usyk, I don't think he bothers.
Yeah. That's why I put the question there. I'm just wondering if Usyk wins, can Fury get himself up for that big fight? Because let's face it, everyone's an admirer of Usyk, but he's not the most flashy fighter. He's a little bit dull. He just gets the job done. He doesn't, I just don't think Tyson Fury will be able to get himself up for that fight.
Well, it's an awkward one because he's such a good boxer, and even though he's the naturally smaller man, I wouldn't bother with Usyk if I was Fury.
Yep.
But I definitely do. I would hang around just in case Joshua, because that would be the final thing on his career.
Yeah.
Fighting Joshua and beating Joshua, that would be the final thing. Nothing left. Beat Klitschko, beat Wilder, beats Joshua. So I reckon that's a good that he's not closing the book on that. That's good.
Yeah, he's just gonna. Apparently the Usyk Joshua fight, they've got until this week to finalise it. I think they were aiming for July 23rd, but with everything going on with, I think Eddie Hearn's trying to get it done. He said if he can't get it done this week, the odds are it'll be probably August. So we'll see. All right, talking point number 4. Just a quick one. In my opinion, the talking point here is Mayweather different to the YouTubers and TikTokers and the footy players? I think he is, and the reason why I think he's a lot different is because he's made no secret that he's in it just for the money, just for putting on the show. He doesn't pretend that it's a real fight. He makes that quite clear. Whereas I think the YouTubers and TikTokers out there actually think they're boxers, and the footy players think they're real boxers. Mayweather said, look, I've got nothing to prove. 50-0, I've made all my millions, made nearly $1 billion in purses. This is the money grab. If you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't, you don't. And he's made no secret of his intentions. So I think we've got to give him a little bit more credit than these YouTubers and TikTokers. What do you think?
100%. He can do what he wants, mate.
And he's earned the right.
As I said, I just had a rant before. You want me to rant again? All these people, you want to be fucking boxers. Yeah? You want to be a fighter. Fighting is not doing a corporate fucking fight. Yeah. Fight is not being a YouTuber or a TikToker or a footy versus footy. That's not fucking boxing. All right? Just have a normal fight. Turn amateur. Have a proper amateur fight. All you fucking corporate bums and Instagram people. It's a joke, mate. Don't try and act like you can do what I do and Lyndon does.
Yeah.
All right? We started off in the amateurs against great fighters as kids. Amateur state champions, national champions. We represented our country. Then you turn pro and you fight legit against other pros, sparring, world champions. This whole everyone has to have a boxing fight before they die, it's a joke. I'm sick of it. I watch these guys on Instagram have a corporate fight and they're wearing fucking mink coats. It's like they won a world title. You haven't even had an amateur fight yet. You actually haven't had a proper fight. It doesn't go on your record. I'm over it, mate. And I'm all about people making money, but it's just a joke.
Well,
it's for fucking homos, mate. Because if you're a proper fighter, you wouldn't do that shit. If you're a real fighter from the street who was up at 5 a.m. in the fucking cold in where I was in the bloody ghetto in Hobart, and if you're a proper fighter fighting amateur champions, pro champions. It's a load of shit. But this suits this generation of little pussies.
Yeah.
The little pussy fucking generation. And I don't care. I don't got to hide my words no more.
Yeah.
All right? I'm sick. This whole era of raising men now is a joke. So if you're a parent, please don't raise your son to be a little bitch. Raise him to be a man. Because at the moment, with the Instagram and the TikToks and the laptops and the iPads,
I didn't actually mention it, but I didn't mention it before. The No Limit card has got Justin Hodges, the NRL player, in it, and I didn't put it in. I didn't think it was worthy. He's just coming back. He's talking about fighting Paul Gallen. This is the guy that got knocked out in a round by the guy that Gallen knocked out in 2 rounds or something earlier in the year. So I don't like that of coming out just, these rugby players that just come out, and pretend they're fighters when they're not. I understand, and I think actually DNL might be doing a show at the end of this year, an AFL footy show, but as long as they promote it as just a fundraising night for AFL versus AFL, that's okay. But when they actually pretend they're fighters on a proper fight card and they don't, like you said, they don't do the hard yards and, earn their stripes, I have a real problem with that, which is why I didn't put the Justin Hodges. I mean, I don't even know who Justin Hodges is, but he was at the press conference.
No, so. Justin Hodges is actually he's a really good bloke. I know him well.
I didn't say he wasn't a bad bloke. I'm saying he's a legitimate boxer.
No. I'm just saying I know him. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Look, there's plenty of people we can talk about before Hodges. At least he's an athlete. These aren't the little pussies that are jumping in the ring.
Yeah, the YouTubers.
Fighting.
Yeah.
All these, it's just a joke.
Yep, I hear you, mate. All right, number 5 before we go. The WTF rankings. Now, we've all got the WBC, WBO, IBF and everything else. The WTF rankings. Now, what I mean by that is, and this relates to a lot of our guys. I'm sure it's the same all around the world. I'm just a little bit worried with the rankings out there, and we touched on it earlier with Jason Waitley. He's ranked number 10 by the IBF at the moment after 10 fights. And with all due respect to Jason, they've been fights against, let's just say, not exactly world-ranked opponents. That's all I'm going to say. Finds himself ranked number 10. If he beats his Polish guy, he's probably going to be ranked number 1 and gets a shot. I've got the rankings here of the Aussies. What I want your opinion of, are they actually, I suppose what I'm saying is, one, do you think, I'm not saying they're good fighters, I'm not saying I don't like them, I'm just saying, I'm putting on the black hat saying, are they actually deserving of the world ranking, and especially getting a world title fight? So I've got, that was probably the first one. Even Liam Wilson, as I said before, WBO number 6. I don't know how that works, where you WBO number 6, IBF 15, which might be around the mark, but WBO 6, you've got even Brock Jarvis, IBF number 8. Paul Fleming's number 14. That's probably okay. I think Paul's paid his dues.
Paul Fleming at one stage was, I think, 6 before he had a bit of a break.
Yeah. So he's probably a bit different because he's had a lot of fights. He's been around a long time. But what I'm looking at, I mean, I love Liam Wilson as a fighter. Really nice guy as well. Brock Jarvis, beautiful guy. Obviously, Jeff's got it behind him. But he hasn't fought, I know he's had one international fight, or the one in America, but hasn't fought anyone anywhere resembling a world-class fighter. And to get yourself an IBF number 8 ranking, I'm sorry, I just don't see it. And as I said, Jason Waitley, the IBF number 10, if he wins, he could be in the top 2 or 3 and in line for a world title fight. I don't know. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to our Aussie fighters. It's not aimed at them. It's aimed at the ranking bodies themselves. And this is only Australia. I'm sure it goes on in every country in the world. But I don't understand when you have 10 or 12 fights against a national or maybe regional type of fighters, and all of a sudden you're ranked in the top 10 in the world. I don't get it. And it's nothing personal. Nothing personal to the fighters, let me stress.
What you're actually saying is to get a ranking and get a world title shot's a lot easier today than it was back in the day.
Hell of a lot easier.
Mate, the names you mentioned, and all great fighters, but, mate, to be where they are, who they're beating, Thais,
Nobody.
Indos and Fijians.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, You know, like, and that's great. If you're their coach and manager, you're going to go the fastest track you can. But let's talk about, like, say, a Shannon Taylor back having to beat all these Americans before he got a world title shot, or Justin Rousseau, or Darren Obar, or any of these guys, Sam Solomon fighting. I mean, it seems like it's pretty easy to get a world title shot these days, doesn't it?
I think the creation of the regional belts has made it easier than
play the
ever.
game and get a ranking.
Yeah, because let me just quickly go through all the world ranked fighters at the moment, and I don't expect you to give us an in-depth analysis, but I'm going to go through the world ranked fighters. I did this on my Talking Boxing show the other night, in my opinion. But you've got at heavyweight, you've got Dempsey McKean, IBF 10, WBO 10. Now, I don't think Dempsey's quality of opposition has been great, but he's had 25, 30 fights, whatever it might be. So, you know, he's probably manoeuvred himself in there, and he's actually gone over there to better himself and get that experience needed. That when he gets the shot, he's ready to go. Then you've got cruiserweight, Jai Pataya, of course, more than deserving a chance. I've just mentioned Jason Waitley. This will interest you. Faris Chevalier, WBC 15, WBA 11, IBF 9, WBO 15. So he's apart from Jason Maloney, he's the only Aussie ranked in all 4 sanctioning bodies. I was totally blown away.
And he's had two fights in 5 years.
Exactly. So there's that one. Michael Zarafa, well, I think we have it outside on him for a while. But Isaac Hardman is still ranked number 13 by the IBF. I think the Zarafa fight showed him he's a long way off the world level at the moment. But technically, he's IBF 13. He could be in line for a voluntary shot at some stage. Tim Tszyu, well, that's just a foregone conclusion. Liam Paro, IBF 3, WBO 1. So Liam's probably a little bit similar to Dempsey McKean. Quality of opposition hasn't been great, but he's had a few fights now and probably in line. I don't think he's probably really the number 1, but he's been manoeuvred pretty well to be in there. Then you like this one at lightweight. Billy Dibb, IBF number 6, WBO 13, and Jacob NG still IBF 15. So they could be in line as well, especially Billy Dibb. I had no idea he was IBF number 6. So technically, he could be on the verge of a world title as well. He's a bit different, I will say. He's done the yards and a former champion, so they're probably not the fighters I'm talking about here. It's the up-and-comers. And as I said, Liam Wilson and Brock Jarvis at super featherweight, both ranked in the top 15. And as I said, Liam Wilson number 6 WBO, Brock Jarvis number 8 IBF. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Then, of course, you got the bantamweights, Jason Maloney and Andrew Maloney, well and truly earned their shot, so that's a different ball game. But what I'm probably getting at here, mate, is as I said, no disrespect to the fighters themselves. I'm not having a go at them. I'm having a go at the system. Because what I want is that these guys could find themselves in world title fights, and of course they're going to take the fights. Why wouldn't you? But is it one thing to get the shot? You want to be prepared when you get that shot to be able to win, not to say, well, I fought, like you said, I fought some Indonesians and Fijians and did this and did that, got my regional belt, and all of a sudden I was ranked number 12 by whatever, and I've got my shot, and you're nowhere near prepared, mate. That's what I don't want. I don't want Aussie fighters going over there and getting embarrassed. Am I right or wrong?
You took the words right out of my mouth. Just when I was... Mate, 100%, Lyndon. I mean... It's the way it is now of manufacturing titles, manipulating the rankings, and it's all shit compared to back in the day, 80s and 90s.
And mate, I'm sick and tired. I know it's probably good Pete's not here because we'll be arguing for the next hour, but I'm sick and tired of having explained, that just comes down to relationships, and it comes down to how many sanctioning fees the promoters paid, comes down to who you've taken out for dinner or who you've bought a bloody gold watch for. I don't know, but what happened to just earning your rankings? And I think I've said before, I think, and I understand it's hard in the 4-belt era, but technically you should be like like the Maloney boys or a Tim Tszyu or whatever, where you're ranked within the top sort of 10 or 12 of all 4 organisations. That shows to me that you're a world-class fighter, not just being ranked in the top 2 or 3 of one organisation and not being ranked by any of the other 3. That
100%.
That just doesn't make sense. Anyway, but look, as I said, this is more so about me as an Aussie boxing fan, is that I want our guys to be ready to go, so that when they do get the opportunity, they're ready to go. I mean, can you imagine if, say Liam Wilson or Brock Jarvis got in a world title shot next, they were plucked out and got the shot. As I said, I'm sure they're going to take it. But, mate, neither one of them are anywhere near ready to fight for a world title just yet. I don't want to see him go over there and get stopped or bashed around or whatever it might be before they're ready for a legitimate shot. Go the Tim Tszyu route, the Jaya Pataya route, obviously the Maloney's. Do it properly. Paul Fleming's another one, and I suppose Billy Dibb to some extent as well. Get the rounds in you, get the experience, and then challenge for the world title. So anyway, that's my little rant.
100%, Lyndon. I mean, that's exactly right. You want them to. I don't know. As I said, mate, like I could talk about 50 more fighters, but I mean, I just say Shannon Taylor who come up fighting really good Americans, and he didn't get no shot. He had heaps of fights before he fought the great Shane Mosley. Justin Marcel, who didn't get a shot. Guys like Darren Obar. Just heaps more. They had to fight that many fights and fight really good, Americans or travel and win a number one ranking, right? To get a shot, and and a lot didn't. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, they've just made it almost. If you got a half decent manager, a half decent promoter, or something, got a bit of money behind you, you pay for a couple of fucking sanctioning belts,
and away you go.
Within a year, you're fighting for world title.
Yeah,
And the sanction bodies don't give a fuck.
No.
Because they're only about making money.
Yeah.
They've got no... Sanctioning bodies got no pride.
No.
They don't care.
It's all about the money.
This Kusu guy, he might get a shot in fucking 4 fights.
I hope not. I don't think he will. There's no way that's going to happen. But, look, obviously...
Lomachenko deserved it.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Jeff Fennick, for us, is an example of it happening. But you got to remember back when Jeff won the IBF title, it was equivalent to like an IBO or a WBF. It was only new on the scene. It wasn't recognised as one of the big belts. So he won that, but what it did do is springboard him onto the big
all these 4 now are all recognised.
Yeah, exactly. And same as Lester Ellis was the same. So,
listen, Lynn, sorry.
Yeah.
Look at George Gambosa's fucking route to the world title.
Yeah, 100%.
Did he get it easy?
Well,
did he stay at home and defend the fucking regional belt?
Yeah.
He went over and beat Mickey Bay. Then he goes and fights for a mandatory against Lee Selby, former world champion overseas. So look at the Gambosa's route.
It's a great point. And what I will say, like George, I think he held the WBA Oceania title before he went over to the world, traveling the world to get his shot. He had the WBA Oceania lightweight title. Now he could have just defended against some regional guys here and there and just got in the top 15 and just hopefully waited for his voluntary defence that he might have got. But he would have got in there. And look, I don't think he would have been anywhere near as prepared, obviously, as he was. But what happened is that when he had those fights with Selby and Mickey Bay, when he got his shot, he was ready. He was battle-hardened. He was ready to go, and he took it with both hands. If he had stayed in
the rounds of Pacquiao,
and sparring with Pacquiao, did everything he could. If he had stayed in the little Oceania bubble here, he would have fought Lopez and got destroyed. So that's it in a nutshell, right?
George could have fought at the Hurstville RSL club and defended that WBA regional title, but he chose to go to America. So I think that really shows you exactly what you're just talking about.
Yep.
That's your answer.
Yep.
What George Gambosa's done compared to what these guys are doing.
Yeah. So that's what it's all about, mate. It's not having a shot at the fighters themselves. It's having a bang. What the hell goes on with the rankings?
Mate, we love them all, and we know everyone. We're friends. I mean, I'm friends with pretty much everyone in Australian boxing, trainers, many promoters, and I love seeing anyone do well. And it's not about the fighters. It's just the fact that
it's the system. Some
of these guys it's just sort of. It's disrespectful for the old timers to have to go the hard way compared to what's happening now. I mean, the way it's going, people think it's the greatest era ever because all these Aussies are ranked and getting shots, but it's not the case.
I agree.
Not the case.
I know we've discussed it in the past about yesterday versus today. And I'm with you. I think Aussie boxing is in a great position But there's no way we've got so many fighters that really should be really knocking down the door for world titles this year. There's potential there, but legitimately you've got, obviously there's Guy and Tim and the Maloneys. Then you've got guys like Billy Dibb, Paul Fleming, experienced guys, Michael Zarafa, who could all be in line to legitimately fight for world titles. But there's probably another 6 to 8 that are really in line to fight for world titles who are nowhere near ready.
All right. Look, while we're on the subject, 'cause this is a great subject, let me throw another name at you, Lyndon, who's a bit closer to home. What about Robbie Peenan's route to world title?
Yeah.
Bomber Peenan.
Yep.
Did he get a fucking easy?
No, not at all. But when he got the fight for the world title, he was ready and he won the title.
Fucking mate, he had 2 losses. Yeah. One against Marquez. Fought in America from day one.
Yeah.
And then he fought Nate Campbell. I mean, again, I'm not saying, you got to go always that way. But look at Robbie Peenan's route to world title. It was hard. I'll tell you now, Lyndon, I don't care about today's era because they're not going to be, never ever going to be as good as. Mate, I'm going to tell you, mate, you're a big fan of the amateurs. You're Olympian. You missed this one, though, a bit before your time. How good was the 91 World Championship Australian team?
Yeah.
And what they done as a pro later?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Shannon Taylor, Robbie Peden, Darren Obar,
yep.
Justin Rousseau,
yep.
Jamie Nicholson,
Stephen
Scriggins.
Yep.
And Crawford.
Great team. Yep, awesome
Rick
team.
Temperi.
Yeah. No, you're right, mate. And look, end of the day, and look, even to some extent, before we go, we've been going on this for too long, but even Jeff Horn, mate, I know, but when he got his shot, they give him all sorts of really good opponents like Randall Bailey and these types of guys. He was ready to go.
He fought some good fighters. He fought some Americans. He had different styles. What they done with Jeff Horn was really good.
Yeah. And when he was
really good.
When he got his shot, he was ready to go. So anyway, mate, well, look, mate, that's it for this week. I hope we don't get too much feedback about that one. But again, it's just being honest as far as the rankings. This is not aimed at the fighters. It's aimed at the ranking systems, and it's just wrong. And I'm sure it's all over the world, but I'm just focusing on the Aussie part where we take notice of. All right, mate. Well, that's it for another episode. This is our last show for the next 2 or 3 weeks. As I said at the start, I'm away. You've got your show. All the best with the event, mate. I'm sure it'll all work out and come together. Everyone will make some coin, and hopefully we get Bo Belbin across the line to get that fight with Nikita Tszyu next. And the rest of the guys, and obviously Luke Jackson, Mousy Jacobs all get the win, and it's a big event for you, mate. But until then,
my brother Tim Tszyu, Timmy Tszyu,
yep.
Tszyu family.
Yeah,
and if we do get the fight, I love Nikita. I've known him since he was a fucking baby. Yeah. It's all business.
Yeah.
It's about my guy getting maximum exposure, and moving forward and trying to win a massive fight. I mean, it's just business. But anyway, we'll see how we go, mate.
Looking forward to it. All right, mate. Well, you have a good one. Best of luck again with the show, and we'll talk in another 2 or 3 weeks.
Thank you, Linda. Shout out to Bill Hack and all our followers on Boxing Deep Dive.
Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff they say. See you guys.